pi by 4. Each of the each one. Like even this one, this is actually pi, right?
Yeah.
It is not the multiple of pi by 4, though. So anyways, I'm doing this question, part A. Question number 1, part A, it is pi by 4.
Yeah.
So before that, your circle first create the quadrants.
Yeah.
4 quadrants. Now you can create the circle. Right? So say, suppose this is a unit circle we have. So it's pi by 4 means it's a 45 degree, obviously. So I'm making a 45 degree line here, almost 45. In the middle. Okay. So now complete the right angle triangle from it. So this is the right angle triangle we have. Got it?
Yeah.
This is 90 degree. As it is a unit circle, so radius must be equal to 1. So this is 1. If we have a 45 degree, I have already told you that both sides must be equal. So if I say it is x, this must be x, or I can say if it is a, this must be a as well. So we can find these sides, if you don't remember, by using the Pythagoras theorem. So using the Pythagoras theorem, 1 square is equal to, like hypotenuse square, equal to the other two square, some of the other two sides. So a square plus a square. Got it? So 1 square
Is this
1.
because there's no angle? Both sides are a.
Yeah, both sides are for 45 degrees, pi by 4. This is 45. Got it?
Yeah.
So a square plus a square is 2a square, and dividing both sides by 2, so we get this. Now taking square root of both sides, so we have a equal to 1 over 2 square root. 1 square root is 1. So means this side is 1 over square root 2. Got it?
Yeah.
So now we can find sine, cos, and then tan. So what is sine theta? Opposite over hypotenuse. Got it?
Yeah.
And cos theta is adjacent side over hypotenuse. And the final one is tan theta, which is opposite over adjacent side. Got it?
Yep.
So which side is opposite here? 45 degree. A, right? So
yeah.
A is 1 over square root 2. The hypotenuse is 1. So we get 1 over square root 2. Got it?
Yeah.
Cos theta adjacent over adjacent side is 1. Again, 1 over square root 2 and divide by 1. So we get 1 over square root 2. The tan opposite over adjacent. So 1 over square root 2 over 1 over square root 2. So we get 1, right? So we cancel with this. Now I'm finding in part B, it is 3 pi by 4. So where is 3 pi by 4? It's 3 over 4 multiply 180. Or we can say it is 3 times of 45. Got it? Which is 135. So 135 exists in the second quadrant. Clear?
Yeah.
So it exists here. And obviously it's a pi by 4 multiple. So again, it's a 45 degree. Got it?
Yeah.
So complete this right angle triangle. We have this 90 degree angle is this, right? So obviously each side is 1 and it is 45 degrees. So both sides are equal. And we already found that each side is a 1 over square root 2. Got it?
Okay.
Okay. Is it in the negative side because it's a negative, right? So it should be in the negative. Or you can put the negative sign later as well.
Yeah.
So for this case, sine theta, I'm doing part B here, right? So sine theta is opposite over hypotenuse. The opposite side in this case, because this is actually the angle, right? So it is 1 over square root 2 negative, no, plus over 1. So sine theta is 1 over square root 2, right?
Yeah.
Sine theta, or you can also write it as sine, because theta is 3 pi by 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now cos pi, 3 pi by 4. It's in the second quadrant, so it must be negative. And the side is 1 over square root 2. I think you should write first the adjacent side over hypotenuse. The adjacent side is negative 1 over square root 2. Hypotenuse is 1, so we get minus 1 over square root 2, right? The
Yeah.
last one is the tan 3 pi by 4. It's very easy. You can just divide this sine with the cos, right?
Yeah.
Or we can also write it as opposite over adjacent. So opposite over adjacent. What is the opposite side here? Opposite side is 1 over square root 2. Adjacent side is negative 1 over square root 2, right? So we get
Yeah.
minus 1. Clear?
Yeah.
How to solve part E? It's a negative 3 pi by 4. So negative 3 pi by 4 means you have to move to clockwise direction from the positive x-axis.
Yeah.
So positive x-axis, obviously it is negative 135 degrees, right?
Yeah.
So where is 135 degree if we move from the positive x-axis in the clockwise direction? Obviously here, right? In the third quadrant. Clear?
Yeah. Yeah. So, for the B part, the sign answer, is it positive?
In B part, sign is positive, yes, because in the second quadrant.
Oh,
In
yeah.
second
Okay.
quadrant, sign is positive. Tan is
Yeah.
negative and cos is also negative. So this is the right angle triangle I got. And
Yeah.
obviously this side must be, it's in the third quadrant. So this side is obviously below the x-axis. So it must be negative 1 over square root 2. Got it?
Yeah.
So in both sides of this triangle are negative 1 over square root 2. And hypotenuse obviously 1. Clear?
Yeah.
So if I find sine, cos, and tan of this, the sine of this angle, because this is actually, this angle is negative 3 pi by 4, right? So if I find sine negative 3 pi by 4, it will be obviously opposite over adjacent. The opposite side is, this case is minus 1 over square root 2 and hypotenuse is 1. So my answer is minus 1 over square root 2. Got it? Now cos negative 3 pi by, this is actually part C, right? So
Yeah.
not so part C, part E. Yeah. Cos is adjacent over hypotenuse. Adjacent side is also negative 1 over square root 2, right?
Yeah.
And hypotenuse is 1. So again, we get minus 1 over square root 2. The last thing is tan. What is tan? The opposite over adjacent. The opposite side is minus 1 over square root 2.
Yeah.
And this is again minus 1 over square root 2. So cancelled, minus minus cancel, we get 1. So tan negative 3 pi by 4 is equal to plus 1. Got it?
Yeah.
In D part, it's a pi. Obviously, sine pi is 0. Cos pi is
Yeah.
negative 1. And tan pi is sine over cos. So 0 over minus 1 will be 0, right? So it's easy to solve.
Yeah.
Now, in the question number 2, we have unit circle diagram to find the exact values of sine beta, cos beta, and tan beta. And this time we have the multiples of pi by 6 and the multiple of pi by 3, right? In these parts.
Yeah.
So I'm going to solve this question as well. Yeah. First of all, create the unit circle and the quadrants, right? To understand.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is actually the these are the quadrants, right?
Yeah.
These in plane. So now create the unit circle. Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, first is part is pi by 6. So pi by 6 is obviously 180 over 6, 30 degrees. So where is 30 degree if you create, because it's a acute angle, so obviously in the first quadrant. So 30 degrees here, because this is 0, 30 degrees will be almost here, right? Because this is 45 degree, so 30 degree should be here. Clear?
Yeah.
Now tell me, which side is greater, the opposite or adjacent side? Which side is greater?
The adjacent.
The adjacent is obviously greater.
Yeah.
And I've already told that if the angle is multiple of pi by 6 or pi by 3, so one side should be 1 over 2 and the second side should be square root 3 over 2. Anyway, this is a unit circle, this is 1. So which side will be half? Half is lesser than square root 3 over 2. That means this should be half, right? And we can find this length as well, or we can just write directly square root 3 over 2. It can be found by using the Pythagoras theorem.
Yeah. So why are we putting half and 3 squared over 2? Is it Pythagoras theorem?
Yeah, Pythagoras theorem.
Okay.
Say this is B. So it's 1, it will be 1 over 4 plus B squared, like taking this to the other side. You get B square is equal to 1 minus 1 over 4, which is 3 over 4. Got it? Now taking square root of both sides. Square root 3 and 4 square root is 2. Sorry, B. Got it? So that's why the B is equal to square root 3 over 2. Clear?
Yeah, but how do we know that it's half? That the opposite is half?
Opposite is half?
Yeah.
It's actually we memorize it.
Yeah.
We actually use the memorized version, like the value 1 over 2.
Yeah. So is this only with pi over 6?
Yeah, for the pi over 6, 30 degree. And if it's 60 degree, then obviously this must be half, the less side, the lesser side, or the side that has a smaller length, right? The smaller side. Okay, so anyways, next is now we already found the sides. I'm doing part A. This is actually the angle pi by 6. So now I can find, I'm doing part A. Sorry. Sine pi by 6, opposite over hypotenuse, cos pi by 6, adjacent over hypotenuse, right?
Yeah.
And the last one is tan pi by 6, opposite over adjacent, right? So what is opposite over hypotenuse? Opposite is half and the hypotenuse is 1. So answer is half, right? Is adjacent over adjacent is 3 over 2 over 1. Again, so square root 3 over 2 is the cos pi by 6. What about tan? Tan is over opposite side, it's half, and adjacent side square root 3 over 2, right? So 2 to cancel, we're left with the 1 over square root 3. Got it?
Yeah.
So this time it's actually the multiple of pi by 3, right?
Yeah.
So if you find into degrees, like if you convert into degrees, what would happen? What we got? It's 2 times 180, 360 over 3, so 120 degrees, right?
Yeah.
So it is 120 degrees. I was telling that is first or second quadrant. B part, it is 120 degrees, right? So 120 degree of the second quadrant. Yeah, 120 degrees. The second 120 is 30 degree above 90. So this is 90. So this must be 30, 120, right? Degree. Right?
Yeah.
So 30 times 1 is 330. So 330 obviously in the fourth quadrant, right?
Yeah.
So if you draw the line, so 330 means 360 less, 330 less than 360. So 330 should be here, right?
Yeah.
So this side is obviously square root 3 over 2. What about this side? This is negative half because it's in below below x-axis or in the or along negative y-axis. So this should be that will be negative half and this is 1, right? So we can find the sine, cos, and tan ratios for this angle. Clear? Difference between
the questions, because there's different symbols.
beta and theta. This one.
Yeah.
These are actually only symbols. Actually, you have to see the angle. They are only symbols, theta, alpha, beta. The
So
real
it's the
thing is
same.
angle.
Yeah.
In the question number 1, all the multiples are actually of pi by 4. In question number 2, the multiples are of either pi by 6 or pi by 3. So that's why there is a difference between these two questions. In the previous question, all the lengths are, adjacent or opposite sides are equal and 1 over square root 2. But this time one side is 1 over 2 and the other side is square root 3 over 2, right?
Yeah.
So this is the main difference between these two questions. Okay, now moving to the next question. Find the exact values of these. Okay. Question number 3. So they are cost 120. So it's very similar question basically. Should I solve A or B part?
B.
Okay, B part. So in B part, first of all, you just have to create the quadrants.
Yeah.
Then the unit circle. So now look for the angles. So negative 45. So it means a 45 degree to the from clockwise from the x-axis, right? Clockwise direction.
Yeah.
So the angle must be here. It's a 45 degree like this. This is actually 0, 45 degree in the clockwise direction, right? So in this question, both sides are equal. I think I should make, this one better. Yeah. So these two sides are equal because it's a 45 degree, right?
Yeah.
One side must be 1 over square root 2 and this should be negative 1 over square root 2, right? And what about this? It's a unit circle, it's a 1. It's a 90 degrees. So this triangle can be used to find these ratios. Like in the first, cos negative 45 degree, it's adjacent over hypotenuse, right?
Yeah.
Cos negative 45. Sorry, sine negative 45. Opposite over hypotenuse. And the last one is tan negative 45 degree, right?
Yeah.
Opposite over adjacent. So this time adjacent side is half 1 over square root 2. So not half, 1 over square root 2. Hypotenuse is 1. So answer will be 1 over square root 2, right? Opposite side is negative 1 over square root 2 over 1. So answer is minus 1 over square root 2, right?
So is this the same question, but just in degrees?
Yeah, in degrees, obviously.
Yeah.
So tan is opposite over opposite side is minus 1 over square root 2. The over adjacent side, adjacent is 1 over square root 2. So cancel, minus 1 is your answer, right?
Yeah. Yep. Done.
So find exact values of cos 90 and sin 90. Exact value of the cos 90 is always 0. Sin 90 is 1. What can you say about tan 90? So we know that tan 90 is sine over cos. Got it?
Yeah.
So sine is 1 and cos is 0. So 1 over 0 is undefined, infinity, right? So tan 90 will be infinity, and we already seen in at 90 degrees it's asymptotes, right? So the curve doesn't meet with the line of at 90 degrees. So that's why for the 90 degree tan is not defined, undefined.
Yeah.
So without using calculator, solve this one. This is actually the important one. And you also have to check the answer with your calculators, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I start from this part A. I can write it as sine 60 whole square, right?
Yeah.
What is sine 60? I think we should make the quadrants to understand.
Yeah.
60 is here. This side is smaller. This side is larger, right?
Yeah.
So it must be half. What about this? Square root 3 over 2, right? And this is 1, obviously. Clear? So sine 60 will be opposite over adjacent. So 1 square root 3 over 2 or 1. So square root 3 over 2.
Yeah.
Whole square. So when you take square of this square root cancel. So 3 over 2 square is 4. So this is your answer. Got it?
Yeah.
And similarly, we can solve the part B, sine 30 and times cos 60 degrees. So sine, cos 60, I already told that sine 60 value is equal to cos 30. Got it? And cos 30 is equal to the sine 60, or cos 60 is equal to sine 30. So both should be equal. They must be equal. Sine 30 must be equal to the cos 60. So we can find either value, like if we find sine 30 will be here, right? 30 angle is this. So this must be half, and this must be square root 3 over 2, and this is 1. Got it? This is for the 30 degree. So what is sine 30? 1 over 2 over 1. So it means it will be 1 over 2. Cos 60 and sine 30 are equal, so it must be 1 over 2 as well. So answer is 1 over 4. Got it? Yeah. Now I'm going to solve part F, right? In part I have F, I have cos square pi by 4 minus sine 7 over pi 6, right? Okay, so pi by 4 is 1 over square root 2. We already found that, right? So 1 over square root 2 whole square. What about this? This is a multiple of pi by 6. Pi by 6 is actually 30 degrees. Got it? And it's a 7 times 30 means 210. So 210 obviously exists in the third quadrant, right? So 200 is a 180. So the angle must be here. Got it? This is 210. So this is angle. This angle is obviously 30 degree, right? This side is smaller, so it must be half. What about this side? This will be square root 3 over 2, right? And this is 1. So now you can use the trigonometric ratio. Sine is opposite side is negative, obviously, because it's in the negative y-axis, right? So minus 1 over square root 2, right? Over 1. Clear? So my 1 over square root 2 is 2, and minus into minus plus 1 over square root 2. So this should be your answer. But it is in a square. Oh, sorry. It was 1 over 2. Yeah. Minus 1 over 2. So it was plus 1 over 2, right? So half plus half equal to 1. So this is your final answer. Got it? Okay, anything else? Should I
No.
solve K part or I part, L part? Sorry, L part or K part?
And
L part, okay.
yeah.
Okay, in L part, I have 2 times 10, 150 degrees, 1 minus 10 square, 150 degrees. Got it?
Yeah.
One 50 is actually the multiple of 30 degree. Got it?
Yeah.
Or we can write it as 10 times, like, because this is multiple of 30. So, or we can
Yeah.
write it as 5 times 30. Clear?
Yeah.
So what is 10, 30? Okay, we look in the quadrants. It's 150, so obviously in the second quadrant, right? And 150 is, yeah, 130 less than 150, 30 less than 180. So triangle will be this, right? So this side
Yeah.
is obviously greater, so it will be square root 3 over 2 and negative as well because it's in the negative x-axis. And this must be half. What about this? This is 1.
Yeah.
What is tan here? Opposite over adjacent. So tan 2 times tan, sorry, tan 150 will be opposite 1 over 2, adjacent is negative square root 2 over 2. Negative square root 3 over 2, right?
Yeah.
Similarly here. Square means, right, it's this. So 2 to cancel, but we are left with minus, yeah, minus this, minus 2 over square root 3. When you multiply this,
Yeah.
negative 1 over square root 3 with, by 2. What about this 2 to cancel? And this is obviously a square as well. So what we left with 1 minus 1 over negative square root 3 will be 1 over 3. Negative will
Yeah.
be positive by squaring it, right? So
Yeah.
so negative square root 3 of 2 over, sorry, negative 2 over square root 3. And this will be 1 minus 1 over 3 will be 2 by 3, right? So 3 and
Yeah.
3 cancelled, 2 and 2 cancelled. So we're left with this 3 will go up and this 3 will go down, obviously, because they're dividing. So get minus 3 over square root 3. And this 3 can also be written as square root 3 times square root 3. So this square root 3 will cancel with this. So a final answer will be minus square root 3. Got it?
Yeah.
We can even check it by using calculator. Yeah, it was yeah, 2 times tan 150, then divided by 1 minus tan 150 square.
Yeah.
Right? Answer is correct.
Yeah. Yep. I'm done.
Find the angle between 0 to 360 with a sine of half. Okay. 6. Find all the angles between 0 to 360. So sine value is actually 1 over 2. So it's a sine positive value of sine always in the first and in the second quadrant, right?
Okay.
So where is sine half? Okay, let's see. Half should be because the opposite sides should be smaller. So in this case, it should be 30 degree, right?
Yeah.
And if it is 30, so add is a positive value. So it means we can draw another line at the second quadrant as well.
Yeah.
This also have the 30 degree angle. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the angles will be, first is the 30 degree, second is this angle, right?
Yeah.
So in A part, this is actually A part. We have two answers. First angle is 30 and the second angle
Yeah.
is 180 minus 30, right?
Yeah.
So 30 and 150 degree. For both values of like sine 30 and 150, both are equal to half. We can check it.
Yeah.
Sine 30, half, right? And sine 150 is
Yeah.
also half, like this. Done?
Yeah.
Okay. D part. Cosine of negative half. So it's a negative value of cosine exists always in the third and fourth quadrant. So if
Yeah.
I make the quadrants, it's here. Okay, negative half sine cos is adjacent over hypotenuse, means the adjacent side must be smaller, right?
Yeah.
Like this, and here as well. This side is 1, 1, and what about this side? Is negative half.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's third and fourth, second and third quadrant. Cos is negative, not in the fourth. Yeah. So another value is here, right?
Yeah.
On the unit circle. This is 1. This is a negative square root 3 over 2, right? And this is
Yeah.
negative 3. Positive, this one is positive square root 3 over 2, and this is negative square root 2. Got it?
Yeah.
And this is actually, which angle is this obviously? If this side is greater, so obviously it should be 60 degree, right? This
Yeah.
must be 60 as well. So now we can find the basic, the theta. The first angle is this, and the second angle is this, right?
Yeah.
The first angle, obviously, it is 180 minus 60. Second is 180
Yeah.
plus 60, right?
Yeah.
So 120 and 240. We can check it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's cosine. Yeah. Cos 240 is, yes, minus half, right?
Yeah.
Minus half. And cos 120 is also negative half, right?
Yeah.
But if the side is square root 3 over 2 given, so it's a larger side. So in F part, we have the quadrants will be this. It's a negative. So negative sign exists always in the third and fourth quadrant. And opposite side is greater. So if the opposite side is greater, the angle must be like this. Right? So this angle is obviously 60 degree, right?
Yeah.
So first angle will be, yeah, this, and the second angle will be this, right? So
Yeah.
this is actually F part. The first angle must be equal to what? 180 plus 60. Second angle is obviously, this is 60, yeah, 360 minus 60. Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we get 240 and 300. And let's see the answer is correct or not. It's a sine. Yeah, sine 240 is this. Yeah, correct. Cos 240. Sorry, 3. Sorry. Sine 300. Yeah, same answer, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So all of these questions are very similar. It's actually 0 to no, sorry, question number 7. Find all the angles 0 to 2 pi. It's a tangent, right? So
Yep.
I'm going to solve question 7 now.
Okay.
It's a 1. So tan at 45 degrees, obviously 1. But it's a positive value. Positive value exists on the first and third quadrant. So in part A, we have first quadrant 45 and the third quadrant 45, right?
Yeah.
So it means first angle is this, second angle is this, right? So
Yeah.
first angle will be 45 degree and the second will be 180 plus 45.
45. Yeah.
So answer will be these, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now negative, this one, F part. F part is a negative square root, sorry. It's a square root of 3, right?
Yeah.
But they haven't actually, as said, you can't use the calculator. If you have the calculator, you can use it as well, right? So
Yeah.
I think the base simple is like if we say that the tan theta is equal to minus square root 3, and we all obviously we need theta here, right?
Yeah.
So first of all, you can find the basic angle by finding the tan inverse of the positive number, not in the negative, right? Already told
Yeah.
that. Why? Because positive number gives you the acute angle. We need the acute angle.
Yeah.
So tan inverse of square root 3, it is 60. So 60 degree, it's a negative value. Negative value exists in the second and the fourth quadrant. So I'm making 60
Yeah.
degree second and in the fourth quadrant, right? This is
Yeah.
actually 60. Okay. So we can easily find the angle. The first angle is this. The second angle will be
Yeah.
this, right? So
Yeah.
the first theta will be 180 minus 60, right?
Yeah.
And the second will be, yeah, obviously 360 minus 60, right?
Yeah.
So we get 120 degree and 300. Let's see your answer correct or not. So tan 120, yeah, correct. And tan
Yeah.
300, yes, same. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can even use the calculator, even in the previous question as well, to find the
Yeah.
basic angle. Clear?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. But if we have 0 to 4 pipe, it means we have to create more rotations, like in the question number 8. Like the cos is square root 3 over 2. First of all, find the basic angle, alpha, which is cos inverse of square root 3 over 2, right? So this time using
Yeah.
my calculator, find this. So cos inverse of, yeah, square root 3, then over 2. So what I got, 30 degree, right? So alpha is equal to 30 degree.
Yeah.
Now create the quadrants. Where is 30 degree? It's a positive value, cos positive always in the first and the fourth quadrant. So 30 degree will be
Yeah.
here. Right?
Yeah.
So it's a 0 to 4 pi. So first value will be this within 2 pi, obviously. First and the second. Okay, I'm writing the values. Theta will be, if I say this is theta angle. So it is 30 degree, right? First value. What about
Yeah.
third? It is 360 minus 30. And we get 30 and 330. 2 pi, 4 pi means it's a 0 to 360, right? Sorry.
Yeah.
4 times 180 means 720. So we can take more values as well. Like the third value can be, I'm approaching this one, but after one rotation. Like
Yeah.
this. One complete rotation and then approaching this line. So obviously
Yeah.
it's a 360 plus this. So third
Yeah.
value will be 360 plus 30, right? So this is plus 360. Similarly, if I add 360 in this value to approach this line, because this is actually one rotation, 360, and then again
Yeah.
this one. So 360 plus 330.
Yeah.
Yeah, within the range, obviously. So it means we have how many values? 4 values. 30, 330, 390, right?
Yeah.
And what about this? This is 690. And if you need more, you can add 360 in this as well. And if you add
Yeah.
360, and obviously it crosses the 720 boundary, like this becomes 750. So that's why we cannot take this value, right? So only 4 values
Yeah.
to be taken. And let's see, we can check one by one. Okay, the first value is 1030, right? Let's see what we got. No, sorry, 10 cos 30. Yeah. Correct, right? Then cos 330. Yeah. Then cos 390. Yes. Then cos 690. And again, we get the same answer. Clear?
Yeah.
So within this range, we have 4 values of angle theta.
Yeah.
Okay. But when we have squares, how to solve these questions, like question number 9? In question number 9, I'm not taking these parts because they are very similar, A, B, C, and D to the previous questions,
Yeah.
right? So I'm taking the squares. Yeah. First, this one, H part. So in H part, I have cos square theta equal to 1/2. Oh, another thing, I actually, you should answer the, yeah. You should convert these answer into pi radians, right?
Yeah.
How to do this? Just multiply each angle with pi over 180
Pi.
degrees, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So cos squared theta equal to 1/2. So if you take square root of both, obviously cos has both values of like positive values and negative values. So that's why it becomes positive, negative, right? So we
Yeah.
get cos theta equals what? Plus minus 1 over square root 2. One square root is
Yeah.
1. So it means a cos have both values. So there are, I'm finding the basic angle first. Basic angle
Yeah.
is obviously with a positive sign. And it gives you 45 degree, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now create the quadrants. it's a positive cos. Positive cos exists in the first and fourth quadrant.
Yeah.
What about negative cos? Negative cos exists in the second and third quadrant, right?
Yeah.
The blue lines for the negative cos, negative value of cos, and red with the positive value of cos,
Yeah.
right? So these angles are obviously 45 degree each. And this is 45 as well.
Yeah.
Basic angles. Basic angle always from the x-axis in any direction. So anyways, now we can find because we have the range 0 to 2 pi means 0 to 360. So the first angle will be this one, second will be this, third will be this, and the fourth will be this, right?
Yeah.
So the values of theta will be, first value is 45, second is this, which is 180 minus 45. Third is this one. It is 180 plus 45, right?
Yeah.
And the last one is this for this line. It is 360 minus 45.
Yeah.
So we get four values of theta. First is 45. What about this one? 180 minus 45 is 135, 225, and the last one is 315. And obviously these will give you the negative value 1 over square root, and this will be the positive, right? But if you put all these answers in the actual equation, which is this, you'll get the same. Let's see. It's actually cos. Sorry, yeah, cos. First one is 45, then square as well. It gives you 1 over 2, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's change the angle. Second angle is 135. Same answer. Change it now. Yeah, it can 225. Same answer, right?
Yeah.
And for 315, it should give the same answer, 1 over 2.
Yeah.
All right, so our answers are correct. Same should be done in J part as well. J part, G part, etc.
Yeah.
So first step is to find the basic angle, then show on the quadrants. Based upon the signs of the, like it's a positive sign or negative sign. So which quadrant should be used to draw the line? Got it?
Yeah.
And then you have to move from the positive x-axis in the anti-clockwise direction to find each angle.
Yeah.
For all values of theta for which tan theta is 0, tan theta always 0 at tan pi, tan 0 is 0. So if we have the multiple of pi, the tan value will be 0, right?
Yeah.
Undefined multiple of pi by 2. Got it?
Yeah.
Tan theta is 0 when the angle is a multiple of pi, right?
Yeah.
Or multiple by, like we can say that. Just doing this question as well. So 0 means like tan theta will be 0. For which theta? If theta is multiple of pi, where n is actually as an integer, or we can say n is from -5, -4, -3, -2, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, so on, right?
Yeah.
And say part. What about part B? Same thing. Tan theta equal to 0 when theta is equal to m times pi by 2, where m is also integer, right?
Yeah.
Or even you can say n. So n is again integer, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. So on, right?
Yeah.
So, sorry, it is not 0, it's infinity. Undefined means infinity.
Yeah.
Okay, I think it's enough to you. I'm ending the session now, right?
Okay.
Allah Hafiz.